Today, I want to chat about the age-old debate. Does gear matter? Now, I know this is kind of a funny topic to talk about on this channel because if you've been around for a while, you know I primarily talk to you guys about my opinions on the latest gear. So how could I think gear doesn't matter? To give you my short answer to the title of this video, if that's all you came here for, I fall somewhere right in between the fact that gear does matter and gear doesn't matter. The rest of this video, I'm gonna be breaking that down for you. Now, I am 100% not one of those people that will go around preaching that gear does not matter at all. I'm not one of those people that will shout to the heavens,
"Story is king, nothing else matters."
Because yes, while story is extremely important, having good enough gear to tell that particular story definitely still plays a part. For example, if you're primarily an outdoor adventure filmmaker like myself, it's going to be more difficult to set the scene of, for example, a big landscape without a drone. You're just not going to be able to evoke the same emotion that you could achieve with a drone shot using a shot from the ground with your handheld camera. To give you one more example while we're on the drone topic, how are you supposed to capture perspective above an erupting volcano unless you're in a helicopter? And I'm going to assume that most of us do not have quick access to helicopters, but that's just me, I guess. Now, before I share my perspective on when I don't think gear matters, I do want to chat about a couple more reasons why I think gear does matter. But really quick, what do you think? Does gear matter? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, first, I think that new gear is fun and exciting, and here's why that's important to this discussion. I don't know about you, but when I get a new piece of gear, I get extremely inspired to go out and use it, to learn everything I can about it, and to come up with new creative ideas just to see what I am capable of creating with that new piece of equipment. So for me, new gear is motivating. It motivates me to level up my content and my skills too, ultimately, so that I can pay off that investment and start turning a profit on that piece of gear that I just purchased as fast as possible. I will leave a disclaimer here though. You can't just go out and buy gear and expect your work to improve. You actually have to go out and use it, learn how to use it, and actually shoot with it. I know it sounds obvious, but all I'm saying is that new gear motivates me, and that's just a personal opinion. Another reason why gear is indeed extremely important to me is because essentially better gear allows me to make more money. Now, this is because I've been running a business in this industry for years now and have the data to back that statement up. I know that my bigger corporate clients expect and value a certain level of equipment to be brought to the table, to be brought to the set. But I don't want this viewpoint to confuse you if you're just now starting out. Expensive gear will not make you more money if you're an absolute beginner. Don't get that confused. At that point, you're throwing away your money and only hurting yourself. You need to become obsessed with learning the fundamentals first and completely maxing out the cheaper camera that you might currently own or you're considering investing in. Slowly level up over time, and as you build your portfolio and clientele, gear up alongside charging more for each project. As you enter each new level, there will be some expectation, especially from clients, if that's what you're doing, that you show up with the right gear for the job. Now, I'm not saying you need to show up to a $1,000 gig with a $50,000 RED camera setup, but I'm saying once you enter the $20,000 range, you should definitely start to have a pretty thorough kit, but I digress a little bit. So what do you think so far? Do you think gears matter, or is story still king? Let me know down below. Okay, so I think now is a good time to segue into when I think gear doesn't matter. And my answer to this is kind of twofold. First, I don't think gear matters if it's gear itself that's holding you back. Are you using gear as an excuse for not improving your work? Building your portfolio, getting better on camera, maybe starting a YouTube channel? If you're telling yourself you cannot do these things because of your gear, you are simply wrong. That's just an excuse. If you're in a position where you can't quite afford nicer gear just yet, and if that is you, I completely feel you. Gear is so expensive. Don't feel bad at all. But like I said earlier, learn to completely maximize the gear you currently have out Then, when the time comes, start to gear up. I promise you, by the time you've done this, you'll have built out a good enough portfolio to start getting paid more for your work, therefore beginning the process of leveling up your work, your clientele, and then your gear. I also don't think gear matters if you're just getting started, you're just starting out. And I know I just mentioned this earlier, but I wanna go even deeper because this is so important. The first question everyone asks me when they discover my work online is, what camera should I buy? What lens should I buy? Should I spend $300 on this professional editing software, or should I start with something free? And my response is always this: do you have a smartphone? If the answer is yes, which it is for 99% of people in 2021, I always urge them to get going right away with that. Quick story time. There's this photo in my office that is always the first one everyone sort of compliments. It's always the first one everyone seems to notice. Would you believe me if I said I shot this on an iPhone? Because it was shot on my iPhone 12. The subject matter of your content and the story behind the image or the video truly does come before the gear, people. But yes, once you've broken through that certain threshold, like I've kind of explained in this video, gear does begin to play an important role. So those are my thoughts on this subject. I kind of wanted to drop this video because it's sort of an ever-changing subject for me, and I haven't really talked about it in a while. Of course, I will continue to post videos about gear on this channel because I do truly really love it. And as I just explained, it is important. If you haven't already, drop those thoughts on this topic down below in the comments because I genuinely want to hear some other opinions on this topic. Or maybe you agree with me, maybe they're the same. Regardless, let me know. If you're new to this channel and you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.